And you and 4 million other budgeters are going to be hung out to dry come January.
Are you thinking of buying a home? Dave Ramsey has some advice for you. We'll be exploring why buying a home can be difficult and what you can do to make the process easier. Dave Ramsey is a personal finance radio host who provides advice on how to make sound financial decisions. In a recent interview, he discussed the challenges of buying a home in the current market. According to Ramsey, the Federal Reserve's efforts to combat inflation have led to higher mortgage rates, which can make it difficult for people to afford a home. Additionally, the rapid increase in home values in 2021 has slowed down a bit in 2023, but they're still at record high levels. The housing supply is expected to remain tight, which will cause competition for home buyers to remain intense. Dave said that when you think of buying a home, you might imagine a white picket fence, a front yard tree perfect for a tire swing, and a shiplap as far as the eye can see. However, it's important to be aware of the costs involved in the home buying process. In order to make your dream come true, you'll need to walk into the whole home buying situation with eyes wide open. That means counting the costs, literally. When you take out a mortgage, you're not just paying off a lump sum. Your monthly mortgage payment is divided into 5 parts: principal, interest, property taxes, insurance, and possible PMI, or private mortgage insurance. The principal is the amount you borrowed when you buy your home. When you pay the principal of your home, the amount you own on the house goes down. Your goal is to get the principal down to 0, meaning you 100% own your home mortgage-free. The interest is the money the lender is making. Paying this doesn't lower the amount you borrowed, but is the cost of the borrowing. Most mortgages include your property tax in the monthly payments. The lender will set aside a portion of your payment in a separate escrow account and pay those taxes for you when they're due. The monthly mortgage payment can also include your homeowner's insurance. Just like with property taxes, the lender handles that payment for you. In the event of a foreclosure, the bank can often get around 80% of the home's value. So if you don't give them the other 20% upfront as your down payment, they add on PMI to protect themselves. It's important to know that all 5 of these costs shouldn't be more than 25% of your take-home pay. When you start spending more than 25% here, you become house poor, meaning your house might be awesome, but the rest of your life suffers financially. Being house poor can put you at extreme risk later on. HOA fees are another important factor of the price increase. Homeowners associations are groups that manage and maintain shared properties in certain neighborhoods or complexes. They generally have monthly fees that everyone in the neighborhood splits to cover the costs of maintaining and improving the shared properties. These fees can range anywhere between $100 and $1,000 a month for the properties in HOA communities. The bad part about HOAs is that some are poorly managed. It's important to ask your real estate agent to do some digging for you so you know what you're getting into. However, the good part of HOAs is that they can take care of shared amenities like a pool, playground, pet spa, landscape walking trail, and the like. Your HOA fee may cover your use of these amenities. Make sure you know the cost of these fees before you buy. Utilities are another cost-affecting factor when buying a house. Natural gas, electricity, water, trash collection, internet, and television streaming services are some of the most common utilities that you might have to pay when you own a home. It's important to keep these costs in mind when budgeting for your new home. You might already be paying for some of these utilities as you're renting, but sometimes your rent includes a couple of utilities. It's important to remember that if you're upsizing, several of those bills will increase. For example, it costs more to heat and cool a 3-bedroom, 2-bath bungalow than it does a studio apartment. Therefore, it's important to factor in these costs when budgeting for your new home. The maintenance of the lawn is another headache. If you're moving to a place with a lawn, you'll need a plan for its maintenance. You can either mow it yourself or hire a crew to do it for you. While you may be tempted to spend half of your paycheck on a garden full of coral-colored roses, it's important to remember that you don't want to make enemies of your neighborhood by growing your grass miles high. Therefore, it's important to plan on spending a reasonable amount of money on lawn care. Home maintenance and other repairs are other factors that will need more money. When you own a home, home maintenance and repairs become your responsibility. You can no longer call the landlord when a family of skunks moves in under your deck or your HVAC gets complaints on a summer day. You get to call pest control or that local air company who got past copyright issues and name their companies Mr. Freeze, and you get to pay the bill. How to budget for home ownership is the main thing a buyer should keep in mind before buying a house. Dave Ramsey has the best plan for you. Number 1. Keep an emergency fund for surprise problems. An emergency fund is a financial cushion that can keep you afloat in a time of need without having to rely on credit cards or high-interest loans. It's important to have an emergency fund saved up when buying a house. When you buy a home, your landlord is you. That means paying for repairs is your responsibility. So if the water heater springs a leak in 2 weeks after moving in, it'll be no big deal because you have an emergency fund to cover the repairs. If you don't already have one, you need an emergency fund. Start by saving $1,000, then pay off all your debt. Then build that emergency fund to enough money to cover 3 to 6 months of expenses. The thing with surprises is, you don't know when they'll happen. But you do know surprises will happen. That's what your emergency fund is all about, being cash ready to meet those surprises. Number 2. Create sinking funds for semi-annual expenses or repairs. When you own a home, it's important to regularly inspect appliances and other aspects of your home, so you can know you'll need some financial attention soon. For the repairs and replacements you see coming, as well as the semi-annual expenses like a quarterly bill for pest control, you can set up a sinking fund. A sinking fund is a separate savings account that you can use to save money for specific expenses. Calculate how much money you need by dividing it by the months until that time, and start stashing cash in the fund in preparation. Sinking funds are easy to set up in the EveryDollar app or on the desktop version, and they'll keep your emergency fund from being used on non-emergencies. Number 3. Have budget lines for the monthly home expenses. When you own a home, it's important to budget for steady monthly expenses like your mortgage payment, water bill, electricity, natural gas, and other utilities. If you're doing this for the first time, look back at your bank statements to see the average bill for each and put that as the planned amount. Budgeting for each of these expenses keeps you from spending your light bill money on laser tag by accident. Once you've got housing and utilities covered, budget for food and transportation. Then you can spend what's extra on money, goals, and fun. Dave Ramsey is a personal finance radio host who provides advice on how to make sound financial decisions. He has a number of podcasts that cover topics such as budgeting, saving, investing, wealth management, and more. Some of his popular podcasts include The Dave Ramsey Show, Ramsey Everyday Millionaires, The Entry Leadership Podcast, and The Rachel Cruz Show. In The Ramsey Show, Dave and his team of experts answer questions on the top problems holding you back from building wealth and taking control of your life. Ramsey Everyday Millionaires features hosts from the Ramsey Network who discuss how ordinary people build extraordinary wealth and how you can too. Dave Ramsey's podcasts are easy to understand and provide practical advice for people who want to take control of their finances. He emphasizes the importance of having an emergency fund saved up for when buying a house, budgeting for steady monthly expenses like your mortgage payment, water bill, electricity, natural gas, and other utilities, and creating a sinking fund for repairs and replacements you see coming. Comment your thoughts on buying a house in the comments section below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Until next time, goodbye.